There comes a time in everyone's life when the world feels heavy, the nights stretch long, and the voice in your head whispers, maybe this is too much. We've all been there. In the valley where hope seems distant and the weight of the moment tests every fiber of our being. But let me tell you something that might just change the way you see those moments forever. Tough times are not the end of you. They are the beginning of a stronger, wiser, more grounded version of yourself. You see, life doesn't hand out greatness in easy seasons. It forges it in the fire of adversity. The people you admire, the ones who stand tall no matter what, they weren't made on calm shores. They were shaped in storms. It's in those moments of pain and pressure that your real power is called forth. Just like steel is tempered through fire, your character is sculpted through struggle. Every setback, every disappointment, every failure you think might break you, it's not breaking you, it's building you. Most people spend their lives trying to avoid discomfort, avoid pain, avoid hard things. But what if we've had it backwards all along? What if the real treasure of life is not found in the smooth and easy, but in the rugged and rough? Because when you go through tough times and still keep going, you develop something that no amount of success can buy: grit. You earn resilience, you earn emotional muscle, and you develop a mindset that refuses to bow down. You weren't made to crumble. You were made to conquer. And that's not just motivation, it's your truth. Every strong person you've ever seen was once in a season of uncertainty. But instead of folding, they fought. Instead of running, they rose. Instead of asking, why me, they ask, what can this teach me? So if you're going through something right now, don't curse it, thank it. Don't resist it, respect it, because this is your training ground, and you, my friend, are being prepared for something far greater than you can see right now. Keep walking, keep working, keep believing. Tough times don't last, but tough people, trained by them, do. ChatGPT said, when life is comfortable, we don't question much. We move through the days on autopilot, settling into habits and routines that feel safe and familiar. But when the storm comes, when everything feels like it's falling apart, that's when the real test begins. That's when you learn that pain builds character, not comfort. Because it's in the moments when you're pushed to your edge that your true identity begins to surface. Think about the strongest people you know, the ones with unwavering discipline, relentless energy, quiet confidence. Do you think they got there by gliding through life with ease? No. They got there by waking up on days when they didn't want to. They kept moving when life hit them hardest. They didn't become strong in spite of the pain. They became strong because of it. Tough times aren't a punishment. They are a process, a sacred, uncomfortable, transformative process. And character, the kind that lasts a lifetime, is born in that fire. You don't find out who you are when things go your way. You find out when you're broke, tired, alone, and everything inside of you says quit, but something deeper says just one more step. That's character. And that can't be taught in books, courses, or classrooms. That's earned on the battlefield of real life. Comfort may keep you safe, but it will never make you strong. That's the great paradox. We crave ease, but it's the friction that shapes us. You grow when you're stretched, you rise when you're challenged, you become something more when you face what's hard and keep going anyway. And the best part, every time you survive a storm, every time you get up after falling, you don't just build character, you build proof. Proof that you are not defined by your circumstances, you're defined by your response. So the next time life gets hard, stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this creating in me? Because the truth is, adversity doesn't just test your character, it develops it. And one day you'll look back on the very thing that tried to break you and realize it built you. Discipline is not something you find when things are easy. It's not born in comfort, and it's not developed when everything is going your way. Discipline is forged in difficulty. When the days feel long and the nights feel longer, when you don't feel like showing up, when your energy is low and your motivation is gone, that's when discipline is born. That's when something deeper than how you feel steps in. It's when your commitment begins to speak louder than your emotions. You see, in tough times, motivation disappears. You won't always feel inspired. You won't always feel strong. But what you can be is disciplined. You can train your mind to show up even when it's raining, even when it's dark, even when nobody is watching, especially when nobody is watching. Because real growth happens behind the scenes, in the moments no one applauds, when no one claps for you, and that's where champions are made. Discipline is the quiet voice that whispers, "Get up," when everything inside you screams, "Stay down." It's the decision to move forward, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Because you know where you're going, and you're not willing to settle for a life ruled by how you feel in the moment. Feelings come and go. Discipline builds a legacy. And here's the truth. When you are going through hardship, that's your best opportunity to build it. Because every time you choose to act, not based on emotion, but on vision, you're getting stronger. Every early morning, every extra rep, every focused hour, when your heart isn't in it, that's you sharpening your sword. That's you training for the life you've dreamed of living. Strong people don't wait to feel good to do what's right. They've learned to do what's right, especially when it doesn't feel good, and that's the kind of strength no one can take from you. The world may shake, but if your discipline is solid, you won't. That's what separates the ones who talk about success from the ones who live it. Tough times have a way of showing you who your real friends are. But more importantly, they show you who you really are. One of the most powerful things adversity does is silence the noise around you. It strips away distractions, comforts, and conveniences, leaving you face to face with your thoughts, your fears, and your truth. And in that silence, if you're willing to listen, you'll discover something rare: clarity. In the chaos of everyday life, we often move on autopilot. We chase things because someone told us they matter. We live up to expectations we never agreed to. We measure our worth by someone else's yardstick. But when you're in the middle of a storm, when life feels like it's crumbling, that's when the surface level stuff starts to fall away. That's when you start asking real questions. Who am I really? What do I want deep down? What do I need to let go of? That's the beauty hidden inside the battle. Adversity creates a stillness where clarity is born. Suddenly, things become obvious. The people who drain your energy, the habits that hold you back, the thoughts that no longer serve you. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Hard times force you to pause long enough to see through the fog of everyday life and reconnect with your purpose. You realize you don't have time to waste on things that don't align with your goals. You begin to value your time more. You protect your energy more. You become intentional with your relationships, your efforts, your mindset. And that shift, that clear, sharp inner alignment, is what guides you toward your next level. Clarity is power, and most people spend their whole lives without it because they're never forced to dig deep enough to find it. But when life puts pressure on you, you either break or you break through. And when you break through, you come out with vision. You know who you are, you know what matters, and you stop asking for permission to pursue it. Tough times refine your focus. They teach you what's worth fighting for. They open your eyes to what's possible when everything else is stripped away. That kind of clarity can't be bought and it can't be taught. It has to be earned. And once you have it, you become unstoppable, not because life got easier, but because you got clearer. There's a truth about strength that no one wants to hear until they've lived through it. You don't become relentless in the easy seasons. You earn it through struggle. You build it in the dark. Persistence isn't something you're born with. It's a muscle. And like any muscle, it only grows through resistance, repetition, and pressure. The strongest people you admire didn't wake up one day with unshakable confidence or unstoppable drive. They built it, one day at a time, one storm at a time, one decision at a time. They failed, they got hurt, they doubted themselves, but they kept going. Not because they never felt weak, but because they made a decision that quitting wasn't an option. You don't learn persistence when everything's working. You learn it when everything isn't. When the plan falls apart, when the doors close, when the support disappears, when nobody's clapping for you. That's when persistence is born. In the shadows, in silence, in struggle. And it's there when you choose to keep going that something in you shifts. You realize you're stronger than you thought. You realize you can take a hit and still move forward. And every time you do, your persistence muscle grows. That's why adversity is a gift, even when it feels like a curse. It gives you a reason to dig deeper. It forces you to practice courage, to stay in the fight even when your emotions tell you to walk away. That habit of staying in it is what turns ordinary people into extraordinary forces. The ones who build something that lasts, the ones who rise no matter what, they are not lucky. They are trained. Trained by pain, by rejection, by failure, and most of all, by their own commitment to rise again. You can't fake persistence. You can't borrow it. You have to build it day after day, when it's hard, when it's boring, when it feels pointless. That's when it counts. And the ones who stay the course, who show up regardless of how they feel, those are the ones the world calls strong. But the truth is, they were just consistent. So if you're going through something hard right now, good. Yes, good, because this is your gym. This is where your mental muscles are being pushed, stretched, tested, and grown. Stay in the fight, one step at a time, one day at a time, because the struggle is your training and persistence is your reward. When you're going through tough times, one of the greatest revelations you'll ever experience is this: your story is your strength. Not your success, not your smooth path, not your highlight reel, but your setbacks, your scars, your stumbles. That's where your true power lives. You see, strong people aren't made by avoiding the fire, they're forged in it. And what they learn in that fire becomes the very thing that inspires and uplifts others. Everyone wants to be the hero, but no one wants the journey. But the truth is, there's power in your pain if you choose to use it. Your challenges give you perspective. They give you depth. They give you a voice that carries weight. Because when someone hears you say, "I've been there," it hits differently. You're not speaking theory, you're speaking truth. And people can feel that. Most people try to hide the parts of their life that didn't go according to plan, but strong people, they own it. They wear their scars like armor, not shame. They know that what almost broke them built them. And instead of hiding their journey, they share it. They turn their struggle into a bridge that helps others cross. They take what tried to bury them and use it to elevate others. That's the real win, not just surviving the storm, but coming out with a story that can light someone else's way. When you've been through hell and kept walking, you become proof that it's possible. You become a guide, a mentor, a leader. You shift from being a victim of your circumstances to a vessel of purpose. You don't need to have it all together. You just need to be real. Authenticity has more impact than perfection ever will. And in your honesty, your willingness to say, "Yeah, I struggled. Yeah, I doubted, but I kept going," that's where the magic is. That's where your transformation begins to inspire transformation in others. Never underestimate the value of your journey, the heartbreaks, the failures, the rock bottom moments. They weren't random, they were refining you, preparing you. So one day, when someone else is where you used to be, you can reach out your hand and say, "I know the way out. I've walked it." Because in the end, the strongest people don't just rise, they help others rise too. Life doesn't get easier, you get stronger. And every tough time, every challenge, every obstacle you face is not a punishment, it's a preparation. It's life shaping you, stretching you, molding you into the person you were always meant to become. The pain, the pressure, the setbacks, they're not there to stop you, they're there to sharpen you. Because comfort never made anyone legendary. It's the storms that birth strength. It's the resistance that builds resilience. As we've seen, strong people aren't born with some magical power. They're built through choices. They choose discipline when it's easier to be distracted. They choose growth when it's easier to retreat. They turn pain into fuel. They transform their toughest moments into powerful lessons, not just for themselves, but for others. Because real strength isn't just surviving what was meant to break you. Real strength is using it to lift someone else. You have that power too. You may not feel it today. You may feel tired, overwhelmed, or uncertain. But inside you is a fire that no storm can extinguish. Every scar you carry is a reminder that you've already survived so much. And you're still here. That means there's more for you to do, more people to impact, more greatness to tap into. Don't give up now. You're not broken, you're becoming. So remember this, your trials are not the end of your story, they're the beginning of your strength. Your current struggle may just be the training ground for the person you're destined to be. And if you can face today with courage, with grit, and with heart, then there's nothing tomorrow can throw at you that you can't handle. Thank you for giving me your time, your energy, and your presence today. I hope something you heard spoke to that powerful part of you that refuses to settle, that part of you that knows you were born for more. Keep walking your path, keep trusting the process, and most of all, never forget that this season, no matter how difficult, is building someone unstoppable. Thank you. Keep rising. You've got this.